Thanks for listening to Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Joel.
And we are a podcast about all things strange and unusual, death and UFOs, and other creepy,
cults,
weird, random
ghosts.
There you go.
Yeah. Not just naming things in the room.
Oh my god.
There's a cult of ghosts.
So in 3, 2, 1, go.
Migo?
You go.
Amigo. Wow.
Emigo.
Welcome back to Middle Age and Mediocre.
Hi.
I'm Joel and that's Cash.
I'm Cash.
And, we're going to review a movie that we just watched.
We're gonna review a few movies.
Yeah, a few movies. But we just watched one.
So
I wish we wouldn't have.
I think me and you have very different opinions on this movie. So we just finished watching the movie called Dashcam.
Yeah.
It's
I don't like that name.
not first person. Not found footage either, but it's like all like handheld.
Yeah, handheld.
Dashcam.
POV.
It's a dashcam.
Yeah.
So
But it's not a dash cam.
it was
There's like a little bit of it in the driving part, but a lot of it is just running and spinning and just. And first, it should be called Karen Cam.
yeah. So here's why. Okay.
The cam starts with a K too, so it's Karen Cam.
So Dashcam came out. It's come out this year. It is on Amazon. You have to pay for it. You have to rent it. You can rent it from
I'm not paying
YouTube.
for that.
So, yeah. So this does like this crazy trick where it's the only movie I can think of where the final girl, the main girl of a horror movie, you root the entire time for her to die.
You just want it to happen.
And you want it so bad. Spoiler alerts, by the way.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched this Dashcam yet, go watch it and then come back and listen to our review if you don't
Or
want
listen to this and then go watch it.
because we're going to spoil things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
so
what
like,
we do. We ruin stuff.
the whole movie, you want this woman to be brutally, brutally slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then in the end...
I mean, almost immediately.
most first words out of her mouth.
Yeah, it's...
So the gimmick here is it takes place during COVID. She is a far-right Trump supporter, all about MAGA.
Yeah.
She has a show that she does called Band Car.
It's the #1 improvised music show in a car.
Yeah.
She says.
It's that.
Like
and
that.
she streams, live to a bunch
Yeah.
of people that follow her and watch along. And then she just looks like she kind of just drives around. I'm assuming she works for Uber or something.
Raps.
But she goes over to England to see her a friend that she used to. They don't really give.
It all happens so fucking fast. That's why I didn't give this movie a beginning. Okay.
Right.
I know, on a scale of beginning, middle, end, this did not have a beginning at all. Am I wrong?
If you're familiar with Joel's criteria for movie, what makes a movie is it has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Simple.
So this one, right off the bat, he's saying no beginning.
No beginning. I mean, not right off the bat. I gave it a good 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
The span of time a beginning should be happening.
Right.
And there was you didn't know who this lady was, what she was, why she was. It was just, she's
So
there.
this whole thing feels, okay, so it really does feel like you have stumbled upon this video of this this lady's.
They make it look like you're watching it on a computer.
Yeah, the whole time it looks like you're watching her live stream.
It has to say something where you can type, and it has her numbers, and it's funny because you were having power problems.
So
I was like, oh, did the internet just, because in the movie, like, the internet dropped while she's doing all this shit. And I'm like, oh, is that on you? Oh, it's the movie.
Yeah,
I'm dumb.
But, so it gives you the feeling of, like Joel was talking about, there really is no beginning because you're right into it.
This white girl's rapping.
Her doing her thing.
Improvised music.
Yeah, she improvises raps.
It's shitty.
It's really bad. But, so she, she
also, argues with people about wearing a mask and...
Right, she just, she has a shirt on that says liberals with a red X through it.
It's marked out, but
a whole lot of things. But, like Joel was saying, there really is no beginning because you don't really know what's going on. You just kind of know she's going back to England to see her friend.
Yeah.
And she sees her friend, and then
wakes him up with a spit slap to the face. That's the thing in the
gross.
movie.
Yeah. But so it feels like if you were just on the internet one night, and you're like falling down rabbit holes, and you find this lady's stream of her live, it does feel like you kind of just join in, and you're just like, so what's going on? What is this shit? And then, so she ends up getting into a fight with the friend's girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah. But they don't like each other from the beginning.
No, because
when you come in and slap him in the middle of the night while you're both sleeping in bed.
And then she calls her like a feminazi.
Yeah.
And that really does not go well. So she ends up
most women won't like that.
No. So she ends up leaving.
Stealing his car.
Steals his car, and then she orders herself some food for pickup. And when she goes to pick it up, here's where everything starts getting fucking wild.
It does.
It goes from nothing happening to all kinds of things. It's from 0 to 100. So she goes in this restaurant to pick up her food. There's no one there. It looks like it's closed.
Yeah.
And then
she eats an egg.
She eats pickled eggs.
Yeah, and it just shows it in her mouth.
But then this lady is like, "You can't be here. We're closed or whatever." So she is there somehow, and then
she sees that she has a car when she kicks her out. So she's like, "Well, wait.
Yeah.
Can you take my friend to this address?"
Right. Yeah. I need my friend to go to this address. I'll give you money to take her. She's not safe here.
All, sweaty and sick, and
she has a mask on. Yeah. She's old. She looks like she's in her 70s or 80s. Yeah. Her name's Angela.
Angela.
So this is where Annie meets Angela. Yep. And she's being a bitch the whole time to her.
Yeah.
And then
Angela's pretty much out of it.
Angela's comatose, it seems like.
She tries to get out of the car when she puts her in the back seat, and she just seems to be out of it altogether.
And then while Angela and Annie are driving, Angela has an accident.
Oh yeah.
And she shits.
And Annie's like, "Let me look at this real close."
She shits so much. It comes up the front. You see it. It's there.
You see it.
So they stop at a diner. Annie takes her in so she can try to clean up. That's when she discovers. Well, for some reason, like Joel said, she examines it.
Yeah.
And then she discovers that this 70-year-old lady, or 80 years old or however, has an how do you say her name?
Adriana Grande.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. We just lost all our cool
so she has.
I know that was Mac Miller's ex-fiance.
That's all
and Pete Davidson.
So she has a tattoo of her on her stomach, and you're like, that's odd. Why would an old lady? And then she also is wearing a
flowery dress.
A flowery dress with a school varsity jacket over top of it.
One of those silky, smooth kind of thin jackets with that gray lining.
So while they're in this bathroom trying to get cleaned up, this insane lady shows up with a shotgun.
Shotgun, check.
And dreads, I think.
Yeah.
And she starts attacking Annie.
Yep.
So telling her, and then Annie gets out and all of a sudden Angela somehow...
Annie survives fucking everything.
Yeah. The people in this movie do not know how to die like humans. So Angela, who was just in the bathroom covered in shit, when Annie gets back out to the car after escaping the crazy lady, Angela's in the back seat.
Yeah.
And she's fine.
And that's when Stretch shows up too. Stretch has been following her live.
Yeah.
And figured out where she was and went there.
And Stretch is the friend that she went to see. So then it's just kind of from there on, it's just Angela slowly losing her shit more.
Yeah.
She starts bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah, really messed up stuff.
And
then she's up in a tree. She goes off running because they have to stop and everything.
Yeah, then she ends up in a tree.
And then Stretch has the camera and he has to go up after the tree and he falls, but he survives that. And then it's it's just...
There's a lot of surviving things that should have murdered.
There is a middle.
Them. Yeah.
That's a big old chunky middle we just described.
So, as the movie keeps going, Angela has powers. She can float.
Yeah.
And things. She comes out of nowhere all the time.
Down from that tree.
Yeah. So there's something going on with her. As we get further along, the crazy lady keeps showing up. Angela, at one point, like, you find out her mouth has been stapled shut.
Yeah.
And she just rips that thing wide open.
And that's when she starts biting fools. Yeah.
So, she's attacking people. There's a car wreck that a dude comes through the windshield.
Yeah.
And he's like, then the car like catches on fire. So he's burning from the back half, dying in through the windshield. And Annie's like holding his hand.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
But probably also being like, did you vote for, like, Biden or Trump? Annie, the whole time, by the way, as all this horrific shit is happening, makes one-liners and does her shitty jokes.
Raps.
So, like, Annie never gets really all that rattled by anything that's happening. Like,
she says, shit on my dick.
Shit on my dick. She says that a lot.
Shit on my face. She talks a lot about dick and face and shit.
So, at some point, I put together...
You did.
The ending, kind of. I missed the second reveal, though.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Uh-huh.
But I did put together that I realized that...
Well, the crazy lady started saying, where's Angela?
Yeah, the crazy...
Give me back Angela. Where's Angela?
So I put together that...
After she shoots. So she shoots first. And then ask questions. But luckily, she's a horrible shotgun shot.
Which, with a shotgun, you ought to be able to, like...
I did. Can't you at least, like...
You have a lot of spread.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not a big gun guy.
She's, like, shooting in the air, I think. But, like, so it turns out that Angela is actually a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And she is the daughter of...
The crazy lady.
Yep. But... after the crazy lady gets her arm caught in a car and her arm snapped by the steering wheel,
her bone just pops right out,
and blood just pops out like a balloon. Though then Angela,
and then Annie goes around while she's stuck like that, and it's like interviewing her, talking shit, like live and shit. Annie is the fucking worst.
You want her to die the whole time. And then when the crazy lady sees Angela coming towards the car, she proceeds to, like, rip her own arm off at the car and then runs to hug Angela.
Yep.
Who then rips her fucking head off.
She doesn't mess around with that one.
No, she
does, like, this weird, like, bloop, blop, bleep. And just, like...
yeah, like, she doesn't give a shit this is her mom.
Yeah. She twisted it hard one way, twisted it real hard the other way, and then just rips it off.
Like, I can't do that thing with my mouth.
Thing. Lollipop, boop. Boom, boom.
So then a lot more running.
More running. And the camera, Stretch gets hit by a car, he lives.
Stretch gets just...
And then they're like, hey, you want to rap?
Plastered by a car, and is fine about 2 minutes later. Annie,
Annie stepped on a needle? Remember?
He steps on, like, a needle.
He's good.
But, like, Annie, at some point, we're positive Angela takes a giant chunk out of her neck.
Yeah.
Like, we see it happen.
It stretches.
But then... that didn't happen.
The rest of the movie is not like that.
Yeah, and then she's bare but then there's times where she's like bleeding out.
Stretches
out buckets,
following her blood in the amusement park.
Which every little patch seems like a deer just got hit by a car. So there's that much blood. I think
you're coming closer to my side of this movie, and I'm gonna welcome you.
So I'll get to the movie.
Okay.
So they're running.
Despite it all, they're able to run, and like Angela comes out of nowhere and attacks Stretch, and he's just back.
Yeah, but he's just back.
So many times I have, you're like, all right, well, this person's probably dead now.
Then finally, though, she does attack Stretch, and she rips Stretch's head off, which is her go-to move at this point. Yeah,
but at least you know he's dead.
So we were pretty sure.
Yeah.
So then, Annie's running. And it turns out Angela has been infected by something this whole time.
Yeah.
And she becomes a fucking worm alien monster.
Yeah.
She's like a cosmic horror all of a sudden.
Inching along.
She has like tentacles.
Uh-huh.
And then she becomes like a giant Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Almost.
Like a really white Jabba the Hutt.
And then she attacks Annie for one last time. And somehow Annie fucking lives.
She killed her with the keyboard.
She smashes her head with the keyboard. That's right. And so
a keyboard.
So then Annie fucking lives and she survives.
That's the end of the movie.
And that's the end of the movie.
That's why the ending got a half a check mark. So I couldn't even give it a full ending.
So the content was annoying as shit.
Yeah.
But it's honestly I haven't watched a horror movie ever where you are supposed to fucking hate.
Just you can't wait.
The protagonist.
I cared more about the dude in Spree.
Yeah.
Than I did Annie.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of like the same movie. Only Spree's does it in a way where you don't get nauseous, and it's good.
There was a little bit too much of the shaky cam shit going on.
There's so much shaky cam.
And it doesn't really make sense of how the camera keeps going back and forth between Stretch and her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that doesn't make sense.
But there's some cool stuff in there too. There's some really scary, gross parts where I was there's a part where I had to look away and I was I think when he was taking the needle out of his foot.
Yeah.
I was like, is it out?
But so when you're watching a normal horror movie, you're hoping the hero or the main girl usually it's a main. You're hoping that she lives.
Sure.
So the whole movie you're like, oh fuck, come on.
Yeah.
Live. This one, total opposite. The whole movie you're like, just fucking die here.
Die here. Die now.
So it does it's a very unique way to do a horror movie, I think.
She's not very likable at all.
No.
Her raps, just her overall personality, how she talks to people. She is just the absolute worst.
And it turns out, Annie Hardy is her name.
Yeah.
She is played by Annie Hardy.
Oh.
I
hate her.
Annie Hardy is an American musician who is the lead vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter for indie rock band Giant Drag. I hope she
is not a rapper in Giant Dragon.
Giant Drag, not
Giant Drag? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, could you imagine a giant dragon?
Imagine Dragons.
Ooh, Imagine Dragons.
So, what would you rate?
I was generous with my
10.
rating, and I gave it a 4 out of 10.
So you gave it a 4.
Because I thought you said it's part of kind of a series at this
sort of. I was going to talk about.
So I tried to take that into account. I mean, I did like the Angela stuff. I mean, Annie's just the fucking worst. Stretch is the second worst. But I still gave it a 4 out of 10. Just for the gore and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it had no beginning. It had a middle. And it had half a check mark for an end.
Right.
So, I mean, don't expect much.
So I'm going to give it...
I mean, never expect anything ever, first of all.
That's the best way to live life.
Yeah. But going into this movie, definitely don't expect.
Well, I'm going to go on the other side of 5, and I'm going to go with a 6.
That's on the other side of 5.
Yeah. So I like this.
A 6.
A 6.
Out of 10.
Yeah. I really, it just gets more and more batshit insane.
There's a point where we're watching this movie, I thought it was a prank on me.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, then you still had to watch it too. But you enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it.
Wow.
I just the way it kept escalating.
Yeah.
And escalating, and then she's a goddamn alien monster thing.
Yeah.
She's
a worm. But it just left so much.
Yeah.
You guess she was like her daughter. That's pretty impressive.
I just there's no trivia for this.
No trivia.
No, there's
Annie
no trivia.
The worst. Can you add trivia?
So, yeah, I like it. So what he was talking about was the guy that made this. His name's Rob Savage, and Rob Savage last year, the year before last, it was 2020, came out with a movie he was the director for called Host, and it was a Shudder original. And Shudder, most of their original movies are really good. They have awesome ones. But so in this,
it's like horror stuff, right?
Yeah, it's a horror network. So $7 a month. It's definitely worth it. But hey, Shudder advertising.
I know we worked that really well. We didn't even mean to, but I was like Shudder. I was like horror, right? He's like it is horror, and if you want it, it's only $7 a month, and you get some of the best horror movies available.
Series,
that's all. Shudder.com. I don't know if that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
cool.
really good.
All right. Shudder. You're being hashtagged.
With Host, the whole gimmick is it takes place during the COVID lockdown.
I remember.
And 6 friends get together on Zoom, on a Zoom meeting. And they decide they're going to do they hire a medium.
Do any of them rap?
Nobody raps.
Okay.
So I think you would.
I think I might check this one out.
I think you would like it.
I like rap. But I like it to be good.
They hire a medium to do a seance during this Zoom meeting thing. and shit goes wrong real quick.
See, and that was kind of like the feeling of this one going into it. Like, Annie had all these crosses on her, but never really...
So, yeah, I am wondering if it's, like, supposed to, like...
Like, before she left, she was at her house, and, like, all her on her wall, there's nothing but crosses, like, by her bed.
Which is kind of... So, in Host, like, what Annie's apartment that she was in this movie, Dashcam, like, it could definitely be one of the same apartments that the girl from Host is in.
Yeah.
So, like, they could be in the same apartment complex, and this, like, his whole thing could, like, be, like, that, you know, that whole... Because there's, like, a demon in Host... So it could have, like, transferred over.
There's a demon in this one.
There's something in this one.
She shits herself.
Ugh.
And then, like, Stretch goes to clean it.
No, Annie goes to clean it.
Oh, Annie goes to clean it. I
Yeah.
thought Stretch was
Or no,
cleaning
Stretch,
it.
no, it was where she puked.
Oh, okay, yeah. I ate it
And
all.
shit, I think. There was puke and shit. Spit.
And that was all just during the wrapping.
Yeah.
Shit on my dick!
So, alright, so you gave that one a 4. I gave it a 6. Alright, so...
I might have to lower my score just because yours went so high. Wow. 6 out of 10.
I really dig what he did. I thought it was, very creative.
Okay.
So then the other movie that you'd watched it before, I just watched it today.
I watched it Thursday.
So this one is called X.
X.
Came out this year.
10.
If you will. It is directed by Ty West. Who Ty West?
T.I.
He's awesome. He has a lot of good movies.
Yeah, they said that because with any movie I always deep dive.
Yeah.
He had that the movie he did before this one. I think I've seen it, but I can't remember what it's called now.
Them. Well, no. Let me see.
Something about a house.
No, he didn't do. Are you thinking of the Netflix series?
No, I don't know. One of his movies. I was just.
Well, let's see. Here he's done. His first big one was House of the Devil.
Okay, yeah,
that was his first.
So I think might have seen that.
She's
If not,
the
I want to
babysitter.
watch it. If not, yeah, I think I watched like when it first came out in 2016. I think I like to watch it again. I think that's what
2009.
2009. Okay,
Yeah.
so it might have been a while.
Yeah,
but X, he did X, and then did you see where he did the prequel to it right after they filmed it?
Pearl.
Right after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see the Pearl now too because Pearl's one of the main characters of X. She's like the old lady that it's X. We talked about beginning, middle, end. Check, double check, triple check.
So X. Let me read you off the scenario plot or whatever.
Yeah.
From IMDb. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas. But when their reclusive, elderly hosts catch them in the act, the cast find themselves fighting for their lives. Mm-hmm. So this thing feels... there's a lot of different horror homages in this one. But the one you get right off the bat is an homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This takes place in 1979. It takes place in Texas. It has that same look as the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The same feel. They all get into a van together. Like... If you want to make a good horror movie, you set it in the 70s, you set it in the South, you put a bunch of kids in a van.
Yep.
And that's your horror movie. And then they stumble into a very bad house.
Yeah.
So these are these filmmakers make porn.
Yeah.
So they decide to
People fucking.
And this is 79, so apparently the way they talk, VHS is just coming around.
Yeah.
So
I think they mentioned Debbie Does Dallas.
I think
so. It's like right after that, where like this porn is still kind of it's not quite what it is today.
It's not like readily available. So
I'm watching porn right now.
People used to have to actually go do productions to film these things. So they go to this this old house in Texas where the director or the producer guy, his name's Wayne.
Yeah.
So Wayne has set up a deal with this old dude from.
And, the old dude's pissed because he thought it was just gonna be Wayne.
Yeah. Well, he greets him with a gun to the face.
Yeah.
Which is the way that
that's the Texas hello.
That's Texas hello.
That's the
Texas how do you do? So you got Wayne. He's a producer. His girlfriend and one of the actresses. Her name is Maxine. And then you've got the other actress. Her name is Bobby Lynn. She's played by Brittany Snow.
Oh yeah.
Maxine.
Oh yeah.
So then you've got the male talent is named Jackson, and he's played by Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi, yeah.
So you got those four together.
And I realized that I would not be able to pick Kid Cudi out of a crowd.
He looked.
I got 2 of his albums, but I guess
he looked bigger.
Yeah.
Than I think he looked.
Maybe the afro too, and the mustache. I don't know.
Yeah, and older, I guess. I mean, he's that's what happens to humans. They age. So
really?
He looks a little older than I remember him. But they're along with
more like Man Cudi.
So they're along with the director. His name's RJ.
I thought that was going to be the end of the episode for a second. I was like, I don't think we can go on.
His name is RJ.
You steered the ship, though. You steered it right back.
Oh, I'm steering it.
You're trying.
And he's got his girlfriend. Her name's Lorraine. They're both kind of like goody two-shoes.
Yeah, she doesn't quite understand how you can do porn.
Yeah. And he's all like, I'm not making just porn. I'm making like art.
Art,
He wants to make sure this looks like a real film.
Yeah.
So, and as I think Kid Cudi tells at one point, nobody cares about the story. They're here to see, or no, one of the girls says they're here to see ass and tits and big dicks. So, he really needs to calm down.
Now, when you watch porn, do you like
line.
a big dick or a little dick?
Not a little one.
That's some Tiger King stuff right there. So you like the big dick then?
Like, I don't want to think about, well, now Tiger King, like, you don't want like some little guy. Never mind. So yeah, they're here to make
That's
porn,
a different podcast.
Which I find it weird they had to rent like a random location. Well, they were making a porn called basically The Farmer's Daughter.
Yeah, so they need to go to a farm.
So they need to go to a farm. So, Howard, I think, is the old man.
Yep.
Yeah, Howard's the old man. He looks very weird. Looks like he's got like
He's got like 3 teeth, and this top one's like really high up in his gum, and he's just old.
So
he's an old motherfucker.
But yeah, he's upset that there's more than just Wayne.
Yeah.
But Wayne gives him more money, I think is what happens.
And he's like, it's all right, old time.
And he's like, just
one guy's a Marine too. Jackson's a Marine, so
Yeah.
he kind of said that. And
then Howard's basically just like, be discreet, I don't want my wife knowing.
Yeah.
But so then he goes back. So then they film some scenes for the porn, and then
they do.
Mia goes off. Or no, Maxine's her name. She's played by Mia.
Yeah.
So she goes off to like swim.
In just overalls.
In just the best.
I like that's an overall
just
good look. Some bibs.
So Maxine plays like kind of, like a southern trashy, like trailer trash almost.
She does coke
with
the
big,
whole movie.
This movie is a commercial for coke.
Yeah, it really is. That's what I thought afterwards.
Because we'll get to why.
Coke, it keeps you alive.
Yeah, so she's right up my.
She's a pretty girl.
She checks off all the boxes.
Yeah, that's a really cool look though, like the bibs with no shirt on underneath, and.
But so she's like getting ready to go
side boob
swim like in a pond, and then you see like an old lady.
Yeah.
Back in, you're like, oh no, So, you see the old lady, and then Maxine goes for a swim, and then I think we get some more porn scenes filmed.
Yeah.
Then we get like a weird scene with the young woman or the
old lady invited her into the house.
But then, like, isn't there a scene real quick where the old lady's trying to get Howard to bang her, and he's like,
he can't that's
He's like, my heart won't take it.
Yeah, I think that was after that where she like invited her into the house, and like and kind of got her some lemonade and like touched her arm a little bit because she's like, that was me. I wasn't always this old.
Yeah,
like Pearl just seems real bitter about shit.
Pearl's got some issues.
Yeah.
So as the movie goes on, Pearl
wants to be fucked.
Yeah.
And Howard just can't do it.
Pearl's looking for
some dick.
I was gonna say strange. She probably takes some strange.
Yeah.
She just wants Howard.
Yeah.
And she
just
wants
affection.
Yeah. So it takes a while, but we get to the first kill.
Yeah.
And it's RJ because.
Which good scene with him crying in the shower. That was kind of like a psycho homage.
Yeah, you get a psycho homage right there.
He's crying in the shower because his girlfriend decided to get fucked on film.
Yeah. So that happens.
But it didn't show her getting fucked. I don't know why. The other two showed their scenes, but this one it just kind of glossed over that she was gonna.
Like she was getting ready.
Yeah,
right?
she like took her cross off, and like it made a big deal about taking the cross off. But in that did seem where things kind of turned, you know.
Right.
Because Pearl did see the scene in the barn with Wayne's girlfriend. Remember, she was watching her, and
yeah,
like no one saw her, but Pearl saw him fuck, and that's what she wanted to fuck Howard.
Right. I knew there was something that set her off.
So, but yeah, so RJ decides he's gonna leave because he got talked. Wayne's a smooth talker, and he talked him into just look. She's gonna do it anyway. So either you support it or you don't support it, and she's gonna do it and be pissed at you and. Basically got him to let his girlfriend fuck on him. Which, that's her choice. It's her body.
Yeah, and he was, he's all like a prick about it and like basically telling her that he's not going to allow it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can't wait for him to die. So
so he goes from being an artist to being a real stern prick.
Yeah.
And then since he can't have his way, he just decides to leave.
And like unlike Dashcam, as soon as we hope for a character to die in this movie, he's dead.
Yeah.
Because I hoped he would die.
I didn't hope for him to die, though, because I kind of got where he was coming from.
But I'm just saying we're in a horror movie.
Yeah,
okay. So I know you're going to die, so I hope it's you.
And it had been probably a good 40 minutes into the movie before the first act.
I needed somebody
You're like, what's happening here? Like, sure, sex and drugs and sex and sex and titties and sex. It's cool.
Right. But we're here for a horror movie.
I'd like to see some kill, too.
Yeah.
Kill him with a titty. I don't know.
I don't care.
Someone's got to die.
So
he dies.
He sees the old lady Pearl.
Yeah.
Standing there, which again, if you are out in the middle of nowhere at night,
and Don't Fear the Reaper's on the radio.
Oh yeah, it was a good use of that song.
You can't you gotta change the song or something. Find like some Osmond Family.
But you definitely leave.
Yeah.
Like that's her house. Let her stand there.
She can stand out on the
she
side.
Can stand there.
That's not your wife.
You're in a vehicle that moves.
Go. You're mad.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend fucked the dude. Let's get out of here.
But he doesn't do that.
No.
No, he goes and checks on Pearl.
And he's like, Pearl. Because he doesn't want to be loud because he doesn't want everyone to know that he's leaving.
Because, he's a baby bitch.
Yeah, and he tries to bring Pearl back, And Pearl tries to, like, hug him, and Pearl's like, yeah.
She slides the old hand down the pants.
She's like, you ever fucked a 90-year-old?
Yeah.
And he wasn't into it.
She gives it like a honk honk. And he was all like, Pearl, how could you?
Yeah, let's get you back. And then she just stabs him.
Yeah, a lot.
Like, stabs him once first, just nice and slow, straight into the neck. And then, like rides him.
Yep.
And, like, pulls the knife out and just stabs him like a good 13 times.
Until his head comes off.
Just right in the neck, over and over again.
Blood everywhere, and I was like, okay.
The seasons don't fear the Reaper, and he's just getting fucking...
It was good.
Yeah.
It was a real good scene.
It was definitely worth the wait for, like, a kill scene.
And that's when I knew...
That was a good middle right there. That was about where the middle was getting ready to start, Yeah. I liked it. I was there for it.
And that's when I knew, okay, well, this movie's going to get fucking brutal. Because that first kill is already...
bananas.
Yeah, so I was like, well, here we go. We can only go from here. And it's interesting.
Yeah.
So...
The girlfriend wakes the director up to try to find RJ.
And so then Wayne goes off looking for him.
Steps on a nail.
Saw
that coming, but still, it's like, ugh, that's not cool to see.
He's in his underwear, by the way. He's just in his, like, tighty whities.
Yeah.
And, steps on the nail, falls down.
In the barn. He's in a barn because he figures that's where RJ must be. So he's kind of yelling at RJ, talking shit, steps on a nail.
And then I think he thinks he hears him.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to look out this hole.
And then pitchforks through the ass.
Pitchforks through the ass.
So that'll get you every time. So he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned the first two people that died, unlike a lot of slasher horror movies, where it's if you have sex, you get killed. In this, the first two people that died were the two people that
only two people who didn't have sex.
Yep, so dead. Yeah.
So I guess fuck.
So this movie basically
I'm not gonna tell you not to fuck.
This movie basically is saying, hey,
fucking do drugs,
do coke, and fuck. Yep. That's what the point. That's what the message of this movie is.
That's what I took away from it,
and I'm here for it.
So, but then what's the old man's name?
Harold.
He shows up to the house where the kids are looking for his wife with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And that's where Jackson comes in. He's like, why do you need a shotgun looking for your wife? He's like, well, there's gators around here. I found her down by the pond last time.
Right.
And he's like, well, Marine to Marine, I'll help you.
Yeah, he talks about being a Marine a lot.
Yeah. And he hangs dong. It says like shadowy, but he hangs some dong.
It may or may not be Kid Cudi's. We don't know. If it is, good.
If he's got an itch on his knee, he can just slap it away.
Good job, Cuddy.
That's work. A man,
Good
Cuddy.
work, kid. So yeah, they're out looking for Pearl, and then like at some point
he sees a car, a VW Bug that's been driven into the pond. So he's kind of like,
which is I think another Psycho.
Yeah, I think they said that in the trivia too. Like
I was trying to think what the trivia said earlier.
Yeah.
So so then he figures out there's some shit going on.
He sees the flashlight in the swamp, and he thinks the old man fell, so he ran out there, and the old man just put the flashlight out there to kind of distract him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he brought him in, like, on land, he just shot him with the shotgun and killed him.
Yeah, so Jackson's dead.
Yeah, so now they're both crazy. At first, you're like, all right, well, maybe the old... Because, the old man locked the girlfriend into the basement.
Right.
And I thought he locked her down there to help save her so the old lady wouldn't kill her.
But
then you see a guy down
But there's a dead guy down there.
Yeah, just hanging naked.
Hanging with... He's just hanging free.
Yeah.
So Pearl's been doing something with him.
But still, I thought, okay, well, maybe the old man... Up until he killed Jackson, I was like, maybe the old man's trying to, like... Because especially with Jackson, maybe he's trying to get him lost in the swamp.
Right.
So the old lady won't be able to find him and kill him. And then, no,
Harold's
he's crazy
just in on it too.
Yeah, so he just blows him away with the shotgun.
So we've got death by stabbing and decapitating. We've got death by pitchfork through the head.
Yeah.
And then we got a dude get sawed off in half with a shotgun.
Just point blank.
Yeah. So where are we at now?
Now I think the girl starts to try to escape from the basement. And then he comes in with the gun and fucking knocks like half her hand off with the butt of the gun.
She breaks like a hole through the door.
Yeah, like here's Johnny. Like,
and she's like reaching through, and as she's grabbing the knob, he breaks her fucking hand with the butt of the shotgun.
And Pearl gets all naked and gets in bed with the Maxine character.
Oh yeah.
And then
then she ends up being found by Brittany Snow's character.
Yep.
Down by the lake.
Yep.
Naked.
Yep. Brittany covers her up and then tries to take her, and she tries to be real friendly. And, I want to be a nurse. And Pearl's like, fuck you, I don't need a nurse.
He calls her a bitch, shoves her in the water.
Pearl just pushes her in the water. And the alligator gets her.
Goddamn alligator shows up.
Bites her in half.
Yeah, so I did not see that coming because I missed kind of the point. You said you see the alligator later on.
Yeah, when she's swimming the first time, it zooms in on the alligator, and then he brings up the alligator again with the gun. So
yeah, so I
definitely had alligator on the brain.
So
that's another death. Pretty gory,
so we got
pretty good.
And that could be like a little bit of an homage to Eaten Alive.
Yeah.
There's various movies with alligators.
And like Maxine, I can't remember, how does she end up? Somehow she ends up. I think she goes to leave, and she hears that girl screaming in the basement. So she goes, gets her out, and she goes to run out the front door.
Well, then that girl's a total bitch about it. She's like, "I hate you. I hate all of you. You did this to me or whatever."
Yeah.
Like I would just be like, "Well, okay, well, I'm leaving you here then."
We gotta go. But she runs out, and the girl's like, "Be quiet. We still need to try to escape this, And she's like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm getting out of here." Yeah. And she runs out the front door and just
shotgun to the face.
Yeah, immediately.
Takes half of her face off.
It was pretty nasty.
So she's dead.
Yeah. Oh, but this was happening too. The old people fucked.
We missed. I didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing all spoilers. They don't fuck.
No, I just mean I didn't want to have to picture it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's
Pearl talks him into it.
Yeah. And he's again saying, like, my heart can't take it.
Yeah.
And
he has some good thrusts.
He
beat that. I mean, he did pretty good.
He lays the pipe as it is. The old pipe. You see his old ass humping in the air.
And she's hiding under the bed while this is happening?
Yeah.
Oh, and then she, crawls out and...
So, one girl's dead. We got Mia. She's the only one left. As Harold's dragging, he says he's going to drag the body down to the lake.
Well, then he tries to drag her into the house, because if it's in the house, he can say that she came in. She came in.
Then he said if nobody shows up, they'll take all the bodies.
Yeah.
So as he's trying to drag her in, Mia steps are like, how does Mia scare him?
She doesn't. The
Maxine.
girl that got shot in the face, like, gasped. Like, she saw that last, like, death gasp or whatever, that death rattle. Where, like, he's pulling her and she's like, and, like, did that, and, like, her bottom jaw's like a skeleton because everything's blown away, and then that just scares the fuck out of him.
And Harold has a heart attack.
Harold died.
Which I did not, I mean, I don't know if many people die of heart attacks. Like, villains die of heart attacks in the horror movie. So yeah, he dies of a heart attack.
And then, Maxine had the gun that she got out of the van, but when she went to shoot the old lady, it was empty. There was no bullets in it.
Yeah.
So then the old lady got the shotgun. They kind of fought over the shotgun. And the old lady went to shoot it, but kind of shot it too high. And it fucking kicked her out the door.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the coolest parts. And it kicked. I mean, luckily Maxine didn't get shot. It kicked her out the door. And then Maxine was able to get into their truck.
And you know what was about to, like, you
yeah,
knew.
because Pearl's, like, crawling. Like, the whole time, like, when they were talking, Maxine was telling her she wanted to be famous and all that. And Pearl was like, "You'll never be nothing. You're nothing but a whore." Crawling out. And she's like, "Well, I'm just going to back up." And she backs up over her head and then goes forward over her head. And I like when she goes, "We won't tell nobody," or something like that, because that's what the old lady said to her when she was in the house having lemonade. Like, it kind of built it up where you thought the old man was going to be the, like, aggressive killer, because the old lady's like, "Don't let him see you in here," and and then you know the old lady's the killer, and you think the old man's going to be the one, and they're both crazy, and they both die. And that was a very good ending.
And then, well, before it ends, though, as she's leaving, Maxine's leaving, she dumps out a little bit more coke.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you were like, oh, the point of this movie is...
Do coke. Because the whole movie, she's doing coke. Even, like, after she wakes, like, there's that scene where the old lady gets naked, gets in bed with Maxine, like, cuddles her, and then she, like, wakes up and screams, and the old lady runs off, doesn't kill her, just runs off embarrassed. And Maxine's like, "I gotta do some fucking coke." And she does coke then.
So,
So if you want to watch a good movie, I would give X, man, I would give that a good 8 out of 10. Okay. Like, I really enjoyed that movie. Like, I thought a lot of times, like, during the build-up, you're like, man, what's going to start happening here? But I just thought the build-up was just perfect enough. The middle, great. And the ending's just terrific.
I'm going to go with an 8, too.
All right.
Yeah. It was really fucking good. Like I said, it's basically Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
It has that same feel, that same look.
Just with old people.
Who are somehow, like, creepier than Leatherface.
They're really, they're pretty creepy.
But then, so I didn't realize this until after the movie, but Maxine, the actress who plays Maxine, Mia, also plays the old lady, Pearl.
I didn't know either.
So, because I think you did the same thing. You went to look at IMDb to see who the credits were, and Pearl's not listed at first.
I don't pay enough attention to know the names of the characters. I'm like, oh, well, there's Brittany Snow, there's that one. I was like, well, who the fuck plays Pearl, the old lady, or who plays the old lady? And then you read some more, and you see that she did both parts.
That's a
hell of a job by her, man.
She did really good, yeah. A little bit of...
She was, like, dancing there in the nighttime. That was the old lady and shit. It was a good movie.
So a little bit of trivia for this from IMDb. There was an actual adult film called Farmer's Daughter. So that's kind of what I think they were making that. That's what the movie they were making, though. Let's see what else was on here that was pretty interesting. The name of the gas station and mini mart at the beginning of the film was a direct reference to Ty West's movie The Innkeepers, which was set at the Yankee Peddler Inn. The Innkeepers is really good.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then there's let's see if there's anything good here on the homages. I think there was... Yeah, Lorraine references Psycho during her conversation with the group. Later, Jackson discovers a partially submerged car in the pond, and then we get the shower scene. But Ty West, if you want to see any other Ty West movies, most of his stuff I'm a fan of. House of the Devil, like we talked about. The Innkeepers. He has a segment that was really good on the VHS movie, the found footage one.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those.
He does, it's called Second Honeymoon. It's like one of the really good ones off the first one. He has a great movie called The Sacrament, which is basically the horror movie version of the story of was it Jim Jones, the cult leader that like had the Kool-Aid?
Yeah. All wore Nikes.
Yeah. So the sacrament is that.
Shit, that happened in the dash cam thing. Remember they got to she ended up at some house, which just happened to be the house that she was supposed to take Angela to. And there's just like a bunch of people in tracksuits all slice their throat at the same time.
And then there was like some demonic shit going on.
And that's when the fucking worm comes out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
I give that movie a 3.5 out of 10. I
still like it. Because I think it ties into some shit, so I like it. Sacrament, though, yeah, you guys should watch it. And then he just did X, and then he's got Pearl coming out, which is the prequel to X.
And I guess it looks pretty violent, too.
Yeah, I looked for a trailer for it earlier, and I couldn't find one.
They said it was after the movie. But
which is not on Amazon.
Yeah, it wasn't the one on Redbox either.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would give this an 8, too. Definitely the more well-put-together movie of the two. Yeah. But I really like Dashcam. Okay. So the last movie to review is a throwback. We're going to go through this one real quick, just kind of mention it.
Yeah.
It's from 1992. It's got Ice Cube, Ice-T, Bill Paxton, William Sadler. Of course, we're talking about the classic.
Tiny Zeus Lester.
Argyle
from Die Hard.
Yeah. We're talking about the classic Trespass. Or Trespass. Where two Arkansas firemen, one of them finds a newspaper article saying that some dude that died left his treasure behind in St. Louis.
Buried it in the house or something.
And he figures out that the place would be abandoned now.
He has a map.
He has a map and a metal detector.
Yeah, he had a metal detector.
Big metal detector movie.
I know, I had the metal detector. Like, that was why they ended up going on the trip.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't just go, like, I think we should buy a metal detector first.
No, we already got it.
He's like, I got one. I wouldn't even bring it up if I didn't have the metal detector.
So while they're there in this abandoned building, trying to find this treasure, they end up finding a homeless guy that lives there. And they're real assholes to him.
Yeah.
But then, just so happens that while they're there, Ice-T's brother, who is played by Argyle, is making like a deal of some sort.
Yeah.
It goes wrong.
Tricky. Yeah, I think they set that guy up because he killed one. They videotaped him, taped him killing some dude.
Yeah.
So it was like a setup to get him up there on the roof, and then he fell through
They throw his ass off the roof. Bill Paxton sees it happen.
And he does the Bill Paxton expression as a reaction.
He does the Bill Paxton overreact. So then, somehow in all the scuffle, William Sadler shows up, and they like kind of grab the.
He comes up behind Lucky because they all.
Which is Argyle.
Yeah, they all circle around Bill Paxton. What are you doing here, man?
And Bill Paxton's like, I don't know nothing, guys. Just let us go. We're all gonna be fine.
Yeah, but William Sadler fucks it all up, takes Lucky by gunpoint, and basically it's just.
So now we got a good old fashioned standoff the whole movie. Bunch of people die.
It was a good 90s movie.
Good 90s movie.
Guitar solo, one note guitar solo.
It's hip hop like most of the time, and then just out of nowhere.
Every time, like you're supposed to it's like the signal something just happened that you should pay attention to.
Yeah. No, so you said that because I remember this movie fondly as a kid.
Yeah, you tweeted about it.
I don't know why. Like I would have been.
Like you said, it's probably the Ice-T and the Ice Cube.
Like Ice-T.
I don't think as a kid you're like Bill Paxton.
No, Ice-T's the coolest motherfucker ever in this movie. Like his character is just like.
And Ice Cube is the most Ice Cube he's ever been.
Ice Cube yells the whole time.
Yeah, he's just angry and yelling. That was early Ice Cube. That's all. And still, that's a lot of his shtick. Is like just getting mad and yelling.
But you said so. I really like this. It came out in '92, so I would have been 9.
Yeah, I was 13.
And for some reason, 9-year-old Josh was like, "This movie's awesome."
But see, I probably watched it when I was like 14. Probably like after it came out.
Yeah, I guess I probably been like 10.
Sort of HBO or still pretty young.
So then I bought it like years ago at buybacks. So I've just had it. And I realized I was looking for something else the other night. Saw Trespass and was like, you know what? Need to figure out why 9-year-old
It
Josh
is
liked it.
widescreen.
It is in widescreen now.
I like when DVDs used to like record, like they would put that right in the front.
It's the feature. It's like one of the special features. Because that's what DVDs used to be. Was a special feature would be you can watch this in widescreen. So I watched it again and I thought it held up.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, some of it, a lot of it's pretty ridiculous. Like they shoot the gun.
There's a lot of ridiculous things.
And like he doesn't hit anything but like the railing where he's standing in front on the catwalk. Yeah. And like he shoots the gun through like that metal like grate on the doors. Like what? It doesn't come back at all on you. And it's just like the most. Just like we say, it was written by the dudes that wrote Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was. It's got not the most urban group to watch to write the movie.
It's got a pretty interesting because
beginning, middle, and end. It does
have no, but like when I was reading about it, it talks about how it was kind of like they'd seen videos of like gangs and stuff, like had been kind of started to come out that they like to record the crime.
They did a lot of this in like point of view, where it was the guy.
So they did that for this, yeah. So like you kind of had to, and then as the movie goes,
Ice Cube gets pissed at that guy with the video camera and breaks it.
So Trespass is good if you're looking for an old, just.
I give it a good 7 out of 10 right there. Boom.
6 or 7.
Yeah,
it's fun. It was when Ice-T was making like really good movies like this, and he had Most Dangerous Game, I think, not too long after this.
That was a good movie, yeah.
Yeah. So then
90s,
he became.
90s were cool.
Then he became
Law and Order.
On Law and Order, whatever his name is on there.
I don't fucking know.
So yeah,
I love that comedian's bit where it's like Ice-T's just there to like not believe whatever's happening. Yeah, he's like, wait, so you're telling me this guy likes to get off on little girls and just whatever. That's such a good bit. I ruined it.
Yeah, so I would say I would recommend all 3 of the movies we talked about.
I would rank them X, Trespass, Dashcam.
I mean, that's so weird. Okay, if I would go X, Trespass, or X, Dashcam, Trespass.
We'll never get over this.
We'll never get over this.
This is what's gonna drive us apart.
But X is definitely, if you like horror movies, definitely watch it. If you're into like crazy weird shit, go with Dashcam. Doesn't have to like again.
If you're into rap.
Again, Dashcam feels like you're kind of just dropped into this live stream that's already happening, and then you're just like on for the ride.
Watch Spree if you want a good found footage movie.
See, I like Dashcam more than Spree.
Oh, end it.
Because I like cosmic weird monsters and shit. So
that's dumb.
Spree was probably the better movie.
Yeah,
but
David Arquette, bro.
But Dashcam gets fucking crazy.
It does get crazy.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's end this and we'll fight about it.
All right, so me and Joel are going to go fight. So next week will be just me.
Oh! I got dibs on the bowling ball. You still got it?
There's a few of them. You grab one for each hand.
All right, let's go.
All right. They're so heavy. You're not going to be able to punch me. All right, bye.
Bye.